small girl from a small village, from the soil, from the fields, and everywhere is just up here now. Like, not yet up there, but like up here, on the way. Because if it was not for social media, if it was not for digital or anything, I still bet you I would be on the doors of TV stations still begging them to give me a platform.
Which do you prefer, butter or cooking oil?
Butter.
Spicy or mild?
Spicy.
What's the most underrated ingredient?
Salt.
What's the best cooking tip you've ever received?
Take your time.
What's your favorite ingredient to cook with?
Must be chicken.
What's the most challenging dish you've ever prepared?
Pasta from scratch.
How do you maintain consistency and quality across multiple dishes?
I do my research, so I know what I'm doing.
Hey guys, how you doing? We're back, and today on the, no, it's not a seat, it's not a chair, this is on the set, we have the cooking nurse. It's been an honor being in her presence even before we began to shoot, and we find that it is a bigger honor for us to have her talk to you through us. So without any further ado, let me just introduce her straight up. How you doing, Rita?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm alright. Excited to be on CDJ?
Sure. This must be my first collab or like being on another person's channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the goal of CDJ is to have energy because we bring it. We can hear it in the background wherever it is. Water, yes, the energy drink. It is life and it brings energy.
Maybe money.
And you will find out. You'll find out as this discussion goes forward what we're about. So on today's episode, we want to just have a conversation with the cooking nurse to find out what inspires her, what drives her, how does she get going, and how has the work she has done created an impact for her, for the people that she speaks to, for the audience. All right? So without any further ado, I want us to get straight into it. Who is the cooking nurse and what led to the cooking nurse?
Who is the cooking nurse? Sounds like I'm going for a job interview.
Yes.
I actually said I will not be doing. I just read, then I go there and they're like, we're going to call you. And I keep on checking my phone and no calls ever come through. So anyways, the cooking nurse is a 28-year-old young lady who is just exploring her passion in the kitchen, really. I'm a trained nurse. So when I failed to get a job in the nursing sector, I just decided to nurture my passion, which was cooking, and that is how I ended up the cooking nurse. So it's cooking, and then I didn't want to throw away my profession of being a nurse, and this is pretty much the same thing. Like cooking and nursing, it's the same thing.
So you're telling us food is medicine. Okay.
Food is medicine. If you don't make food your medicine, you're going to make medicine your food. In the long run. You're welcome.
Okay, we should add that to the title somewhere there. Yeah.
We even put on the same uniform. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yes.
We put on the same uniform, the same gear, aprons, the capes and everything. So we're doing the same thing, just in different locations. The other ones are going to give you medicine in the pharmacy, the vitamins, everything, just to keep your system good.
Yeah.
And us, we're just going to prepare the food. So it's pretty much the same thing, but in different locations and have the different names.
Wisdom from the kitchen. No doubt about that. All right, so that's the cooking nurse. But do you have an approach or a philosophy to what you do? And what is it?
I would say my approach is, let me actually first think before I let me be like men. You know, you tell them something and they just keep quiet and do, you didn't hear me? So they be thinking in the meantime. Okay. So my approach to being the cooking nurse usually is stories.
Yes.
I really feel like stories heal in a certain way, or like when people tell their stories and it resonates in the reality, like right now someone tells you their story and you're like, oh my God, so you went through this, or this is what happened, or this is how the food actually came out, this is why you guys cook the way you cook, this is why you guys sit down. There's no better place to tell stories than the kitchen table or a dining set. When I was growing up, we used to have like these places where I would go for eating, like a particular place in the kitchen. There's grass on the floor, and then we'd just put there maybe banana leaves and then pour food, and then we'd eat and after fold everything and put it away. And the the elders would just start jazzing.
Yeah.
You'd just be seated there at the feet of your grandmother, and people are just telling stories, telling folk tales, things that happened before you. And I feel like, I don't know if you followed me pretty well, or you haven't.
I have.
You haven't. He just
guys,
followed me today.
I have.
It
I
is
have.
the audacity of men of
I
this
have
generation
followed her,
for
and
me.
you should as well. Why?
Offline, just offline. Online, you didn't. So, if you've been following me properly,
Guys.
if it was Josh, he would have jumped out of this rack. But now, you're stuck.
Josh the runner.
Yeah. So, I usually tell stories in my captions. If you go back in the first days when I was like out, like there on the app every time, you'd see most of my pictures or my content has stories. It has a story to it. There's a reason why this is this. This is like I'm trying to bring back the stories of the food that we had back in the day and then now. Times have changed. People have changed. We have the Gen Zs, we have the Gen Alphas. These guys have no clue. So if there was a platform where I could tell stories while doing something I love, it would be the kitchen.
That's dope. That's nice to know. Good that Jupiter Dabongo still has a place in our lives and where to be told.
And I'm so glad to be their descendant and someone who can let the stories live on long after we are all gone.
That's nice. I think that's a really good way of looking at food and cooking as a whole. It's not just about eating, but the experience that comes with eating and sharing.
And actually bringing a meal to the table. Like the whole process. When I was growing up, you guys are going to hear me refer, even after here, even wherever. When I was growing up, I think this is the thing that shaped me. When I was growing up, we used to grow our own food, like everything from scratch. I do not remember, or I do not have any recollection of maybe me going out to eat in a restaurant or something until maybe I was like 20 or something. We used to grow everything from scratch, from tomatoes, from onions. The whole community had something they were good at. Someone made nkore, the other one grew beans, this one had land that grew tomatoes. So we'd all come together and have a weekly market. So we'd just go there and get things and then maybe exchange, even with farmers. You're like, okay, you have matoke, we can give you beans, you give us matoke. Butter trade was long gone, but we still had it in my community. So we used to have all the food around. The stories in the gardens, the stories in the farms, harvesting millet, everything that happened there. It was the experience of, now that I look at, for example, growing millet, it's like, it could never be me. I cannot go back there. But back in the day, it was an experience. We never even felt the heat. We never even felt bad because this process has already begun. We are in July now. Has already begun. The millet is going to be harvested in Feb, latest. Okay, where I come from, other places have different seasons and stuff. But that long time of growing the millet, the stories, the relationships you guys form, from the people who come to work at the farm, from the women who gave birth in the fields, like everything would contribute to that one particular bowl of kalo. You sit down and you're like, we made it. In 1 minute it's gone, but you took 7 months. Yeah.
Wow, is all I can say. Wow. And on the subject of experiences, if you'd like to experience more of this and you have not hit the subscribe button, do it now.
Joker.
You have like 1 second.
We may block you.
And then hit the like as well. So, now that we know a bit about the cooking nurse and what you're about, where you come from, one of the offerings you have is training. You train people on how to cook meals. So how do you approach training someone who's new to cooking? Someone who wants to cook, but they have no idea, and things like they can't even measure salt.
Now the thing is, the first thing I will do is laugh. Like I'm going to laugh at you because why? Why did you grow up rich? Why? You guys should have sent us some money, you know? It's going to have been a balance. Like we'd just be here, all of us suffering. But yeah, the thing is, cooking is an art. Usually it's an art and it grows better with experience. So what I usually do with people who have never been in the kitchen, in the modern day right now, is teach them the basics. Like the basics of maybe how to use salt, how to use fire, how to use fat, like how to use anything that you're given. You can just open the fridge and see, this is what I'm going to make with just 4 ingredients: salt, fire, fat, and acid or something like that. So we start from the basics, depending on their level. and then you just hold their hand and teach them. I really, really believe I would actually become a very good teacher because I want to know, like why. Even when someone is teaching me and they don't tell me why, someone just said, put salt, why? Why can't I put sugar in meat? Like why are you forcing me to put in salt without an explanation? So yeah, usually when those people who like buy cookbooks and stuff, I have like over 3 cookbooks here. I've never used any of them.
Okay.
You buy them, they are telling you 3 ounces of something or ounces or something. You're just going to measure those and put it, but you do not know why. Now there I would say the approach should be teach these people why. Why you're doing this? Why did the Acholi cook their food this way? Why did the Banyankole cook this food this way? Why do they do this? When someone knows why, they know what to put in and the how. So it's much easier for them to actually even go about it without your help.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's a great way. I think we'll put this to the test. Josh, what do you think? Wink, wink. We'll find out soon. Okay, so on to the subject of your digital presence, because a lot of what you do is online and it's digital. You have what I would call a huge following online, all right?
For who?
For our standard here as Uganda here,
Our village, our small village.
our small landlocked country,
Yeah.
you have what I'd call a huge following. You have a great YouTube channel with lots of subscribers, which you should subscribe to now.
He
after
hasn't.
hours. All of them.
Get out. Sharp, sharp. You'll call him when we're done recording.
Yes, which you should. So you have a great YouTube channel. You also have a great social media presence. What has digital marketing done to help your career as a cooking nurse?
Okay.
First of all, has it done anything to help your career?
Well, first of all, my whole career is digital, so like seriously, my whole career is digital because one of the things I'm really proud of my parents for is having waited long enough to give birth to me in this time and era. Like they didn't have to rush because look at the soft life we are all living. A small girl from a small village, from the soil, from the fields and everywhere is just up here now. Like not yet up there, but like up here on the way. Because if it was not for social media, if it was not for digital or anything, I still bet you I would be on the doors of TV stations still begging them to give me a platform. You get? So social media has helped me in a way that I can express myself just the way I am without putting on a show. Those days you had to look a certain way, you had to dress a certain way, you had to tell a certain story. Someone has already scripted what they want to tell the world, what they want the world to see. Here I have my own channel, I have my own platform where I can tell the stories of how we grew up. For example, when I cook something, let's say online, and someone is like, that's not how we cook it. And I'm like, who is this we? That is you, tell your own story. Me, I'm telling my story. You see, I cooked it this way, I didn't die. See, that means it's not poison. I am cooking, I am telling my story in its authentic way. And I feel like the digital marketing space it has enabled me to get out into the world. If you check my socials, since I didn't know that I would even imagine maybe affording a lunch with an influencer, or maybe a bigger person already to just give me a mention and I go viral or something like that. But it's been because of those authentic stories that people resonated to that I have been able to penetrate to where I have been able to penetrate. So I feel like digital is home. It's my life now. It's where I am investing my time, my being and everything. So it's everything.
I like what you said, digital is home. We're going to keep that and use it at a certain point. Thank you very much for that one. Okay, so like anything that anyone would do, there are usually problems, challenges, troubles, and all those things. So what are the challenges that you've had as the cooking nurse, and what lessons have you picked from these challenges? Because again, we learn a lot from the hard times, we learn a lot from the mistakes. What are those challenges and what are the lessons you've learned so far?
So far, the one thing I for sure feel like has been or had been a challenge, disclaimer, I'm really a very self-aware person. I know when I can do that and when I cannot do that. When I need to wait or when I need to attack. So one thing that has come with being the cooking nurse is the name has grown faster than the person. So the brand, the cooking nurse, sometimes I even meet people and I'm like, hi, I'm Rita. They're like, oh, hi, Rita. And then I mention I'm the cooking nurse. the words change. Like, oh my God, you're the cooking. You've been treating me like trash just a few seconds ago. Chill, okay? Chill. So the thing is, the name has grown faster than me, and I'm really grateful for that because then I'm put up to speed. Like now I'm catching up, I'm good. The very first days when I first went viral, I had been posting. Posting genuinely, no problem. It's like I'm also just throwing my own drops of water into the ocean, and then one day I woke up and there I was, and then I'm like, so what now? What am I going to do? It had happened to me when I joined Miss Tourism in 2017. After the pageant, I go back. Now I'm in the ocean. Small or big fish, I'm just there. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to dress up. I'm supposed to do my makeup. I'm supposed to show up for events. I'm supposed to be a cool person. But can I financially manage this? No. Can I actually move from one place to another? Do I have to put on my dress and then get on a border and go? Is this something that I really want to do? I'm like, no. Step back. I will attack when I'm ready. So I feel like one of the challenges is the brand growing faster, which is no longer a challenge because I have caught up, I'm catching up now. And then the other thing is the finances. You know, you have the dreams and everything. And YouTube is just giving you cartoon because you're in Africa, you're in Uganda, the PCM is not that big, but you still have to show up. So the finances, and I am not, just like all Ugandans and most Africans, I am a me person. I'm not one who's going to come and be like, Dan, give me that glass and you did. No. So it's usually, the dreams are going to be slow, which I know they are slow, but sure, we're on the right track. They're going to be slow because of the finances, but yeah, we are catching up. No longer a challenge anymore.
No longer a challenge.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Whoever the big boss at YouTube, please remember us when it comes
Please. We are suffering. Like 3 years. My babes. What should we do? Send your food.
Yes, send them healthy food. They'll love it. All right. So it's great to understand that there are challenges and you're actually working on them to get yourself better. But what keeps you passionate? What keeps you motivated? Because we understand these things of content. From our humble beginnings as CDJ, those of you that go back and watch video number 1 from 2020, there are things that keep you passionate despite the challenges. So what are those things that keep you passionate and motivated to do what you do?
I would say usually I want to use my story. I don't know where you guys come from, but where I come from, it's been me. I have to push through or no one else. So one of the things is I didn't even grow up being motivated, though. No one was in my back saying, "Oh, Rita, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so well," like the way I do to my children now. No, my babes, you're gonna wake up. You're going to make things work. Okay, so you can't just be there waiting for someone to come and motivate you. At now for you, you're depressed because your video got 2 likes or something like that. So one thing that motivates me is the fact that if I do not stop now, maybe tomorrow is gonna be better. So the only options I have is show up the way I am, and every day.
Show up every day. I don't think truer words have ever been said.
No, I actually agree with you.
Yeah, well done. So while we just wind this up, I wanted to find out, what advice would you give to someone that is interested in picking up cooking as a career? First and foremost, that kind of person. But then also the person who's like, I'm tired of eating terrible food that has no seasoning, that has no spice, that is meh. What advice would you give those two people?
In the same class, I would say just start. Just start. You know, when you want to cook food, but you don't have the ingredients, that means you didn't have the courage to wake up and go to the market and shop for those things. We have the internet right now. Everyone is sharing something from their culture. Everyone is sharing something from their kitchen, from their survival skills. I love the internet, by the way, these days. Like, it's no longer scripted. It's no longer you meet someone and then tomorrow you meet them. They are showing you they are maybe eating out today, but this was someone else's food. Today, everything is like in its organic form. So the internet has a lot of information. It has a lot of stuff. All you have to do is just go there, filter, try out. If you can afford paying for a good culinary school, then you pay and you go and learn. If you can afford to get someone who's experienced to teach you, then you pay and you go and learn. But if you just want to start from home, from wherever you are, you just have to have the willpower of, I'm going to do this. I saw her make this. I can afford this. Let me go get them, try them. If this doesn't work out, because as I told you, as a YouTube content creator, we create, but we do not tell you the why. We post videos, we put them out there. You must know, why did this person put paprika and not cumin? Why did this person do this and not this? So if you know you're not yet at that level, then you can read more on individual ingredients, or you can just actually pay them if you can afford to do that, and then you learn, but you just have to have the will to start.
Just have the will to start and then show up.
That's all.
And just keep doing
Show
it.
up the way you are and every day.
I love this conversation because you've dropped so much wisdom, so many one-liners that we're going to use over time. And for all of you that are watching, if there are any questions you'd have for the cooking nurse or for us, or things that you'd like for us to pick up from her conversation, do let us know in the comments after you like and subscribe. I'm going to say this again. And then we can get to addressing those within the comments, or we could do an actual video about that. So thank you, Rita, for the time. I think it's been dope.
You're welcome.
Let's go.
Okay,
Let us go and try some actual food. Yeah.
You guys should battle. You guys should cook.
What? Me and Josh?
Yeah.
We'll just
Get some
handle.
poison.
We'll just handle. Let us find out.
Okay.
Actually, let's take that up and find out. Thanks, Rita.
You're welcome.
Be good, guys. Bye.
Peace.
Yo. It ain't a kitchen if we don't experience the kitchen feeding. So we went to the shop. What?
The
local market. Katale, as in Walimu. Anyway, so we are going to see what we have and what we can make. There will be offerings, but already there will be offerings. We are going to make some stuff, so you can follow us. And for that matter, if you don't know what's this about, Cooking Nurse is the reason why we are here. Cooking what? Nurse. Yeah, follow, subscribe. Let's get on. Show me what you got.
Cool. The simple things.
Yes. Start with what I know. They call it the Irish.
Potatoes. Next is one.
The pink carrots.
Is that big?
Okay, what's the color? Orange.
It's orange.
Okay.
You're about funny.
Colorblind.
Tomatoes. What are they called?
The red tomatoes.
Yeah, don't understand. Yeah. Let's start with this one.
Ginger for that liver.
What's this called?
Bell pepper. What? Yeah.
They say that there are two different kinds.
Okay.
What's
Yellow, red. Over amber.
No, there's another one.
Same.
What's this?
Lemon?
I have no
Lemon?
idea.
I think.
What's the difference between lemon and neem?
Lime. Holiday. Oh. It's a learning experience.
No.
Learning doesn't
This is
stop.
garlic.
This is garlic. As you can see, fresh. Fresh. With some soil. Of course, you have to wash. There. Come on. Let's behave.
What else do you have here? This is
Shake.
cucumber.
Cucumber. Oh, you don't know. Okay. For those who are planned kids, who only see things on the plate, open.
Just don't use your mouth.
This is cucumber. Yeah, they are also available in Uganda.
All right. Next.
We have the onion. You see how big? How big? Just know went there and got discounts. Kogamba, the Cooking Nurse showed us how to buy on a budget. On a budget. Like, list, don't go meandering around. Know your meal and know what you need. Don't just buy things because you think you guess it. You have to buy what the meal needs.
Clearly, you know what the most fun in the market.
Of course.
All right. What were those? The tiny ones?
Lime.
That was lime. These are
Lemon. The Ale family.
apples.
Apple.
Now this one here, I want to bet.
I know it.
This one.
Dragon. What? Fruit.
Dragonfly.
Fruit. I saw it on that channel.
All right. This here as well.
Cooking.
What is it called?
Masavu fat.
For today's recipe.
butter, unsalted butter. But this command, I didn't know this.
Comes from a cup.
I know, but I've never really used this.
We shall find out.
We shall find out.
Same thing.
Hey. Tell us.
You tell me what this one is.
No, I don't know. I don't know, please.
But you both. You both.
It looked nice. You tell us.
Cream.
You see, it looks like juice.
What's this? Tomato?
Paste.
Pasta de tomatoes. What the tomato?
Leave the language alone.
Flour.
Azam.
And lastly, sugar.
Sugar. Anything else?
You and your sweet.
Yeah. So, as you also note, please, we have a lot of polythene bags. We reuse. So, take care of the environment.
Tomato.
Hey, tomato. Thank you. That is our list. We are going to see what we can make. So, come along and see the fire in us. Do we have the scale?
Yes, we will.
Yes.
Okay, I have the scale. I don't have this one here, but we won't.
But clear, at least I will be the one lighting up the gas burn. Cheers.
All right.